Hey everybody, welcome to another edition, Friday's Darkness Rises development. Thanks for stopping by. Very quick update here. I'd like to give some shout outs to our latest followers, good friends M. Grimpo, Carsis DFC, Jinkers the Skelly. Thanks so much for following, guys. Welcome to your home again, and glad to have you. So today I will go ahead and start with some portraits. We'll go over all of the portraits we've gotten so far, and again, a big thank you to everybody for pitching in, for donating, and to everyone that's put in some effort to help us get these done. Once again, we really appreciate it, and we couldn't do it without you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and switch over here, and we'll start from the beginning. We first had our male troll, followed by the female troll, a lovely couple, and then we have our half-elf male, as well as our half-elf female. And then we dive back into chaos with the male ogre and the female ogre, which is looking pretty badass if you don't mind me saying. The next we go into the Killinese male and female. We just got the female in today. I'm very excited. Next one is the male goblin, followed by the female goblin as well. And then 3 more new ones we've got to show you is the male gnome, the female gnome, which I think is one of the best ones so far, and the kobold male. So we do have new portraits coming in next week as well, so we're keeping the artists working. Thanks again so much for your support. Without you guys, we definitely could not get this far or have the inspiration to keep making awesome stuff, such as the game we all love to play. Yeah, so if you have any questions on the portraits or any suggestions or anything at all, feel free to chime in. Just a brief discussion on the artwork. Exactly, yeah. Flak Jacket says, or Holocaust says, the troll's head isn't square anymore. Yay! Yes, it is a lot better than the old one. And, you know, I know that a lot of the old art, it was very inspiring, just really super cool. I know some of us even have tattoos of them because of their unique kind of... there's that word again. They're awesome details and stuff like that. And so, you know, at Darkness Rises, we definitely want to kind of provide a fresh new look, you know, as a continuation of the old game. So we're it's almost basically surrounding the story itself. So if you can imagine a prolonged period in the game world that we used to play in, basically coming back years and years later. So there's going to be some changes here and there. And then let me see if I can point some out. So the troll, we obviously wanted to clean up and make look a little less, you know, smashed in the face. I think most notably, I think the kobold, honestly, was one of the first ones where we're really kind of discussing, you know, what is a kobold? You know, we have these random discussions, and so we do some research, and of course the kobold, like all of these, are based on old myths, and the kobold in particular is actually of Germanic roots. It's like a house spirit. So the original drawing was a depiction of one of, I would say, the 3 or 4 different types of kobolds. So that's why we kept the idea going. And you know, the interesting thing is that there's a kobold type, if you will, that's looks like a dragon, or a small, like dragonling, or, you know, tiny little drake, and that's actually based on old Germanic myths as well. But there's very few examples of that. So in my opinion, I was telling Mike this earlier today, that, you know, these dragon type kobolds were very popular just because the idea of it is just so much more cool, I think. So I think they just kind of took it and ran with it, compared to the other types of kobolds, which are probably not as awesome sounding as dragons, we'll be honest. But anyway, so we do want to continue with the DFC style, and and we're working with this artist to see just how well they can recreate these, and so far we're very pleased. So again, thank you, we really appreciate it, and we couldn't do it without you. So anyway, on to updates for the actual game itself. We are currently doing some critical updates to things like item creation. We do have a vast majority of the system in place. Mike is working diligently to work out some bugs and some critical crashes and things like that. Nothing major. So we will have some demonstrations there, and I'll also like to dive into another update which refers to the client itself and kind of the user interface. So that should be very fun. I won't be able to get into it just yet, but so what I will be doing is opting to probably play. I'm going to start with Hearthstone just for fun. Just to give you guys something to watch, and I'll call the brothers here, and so we'll have some fun discussion going on, and I'll put some music on, and we'll just have a good time as always. So stand by for just a moment. I'll get Hearthstone up and running, and yeah, and we'll keep on checking.
Howdy.
Hey, hey.
You're gonna play some Hearthstone?
Yes, sir.
Oh, did you mute us? Oh, never mind. Ego can hear now. I might have to try out Smite later, because I wasn't a huge fan of that style of game, like Dota and what's that? Oh, League of Legends. But I like the fact that this one's like in 3D mode, like you're more in a World of Warcraft type setting. So I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, it's a really fun game. It's kind of one of the only games that kind of gives you that quick combat kind of feel, and so it's not 100% for, it doesn't hit on all marks, but I definitely say it's worth playing a little bit. Let's catch up to some chat here. Is the Kilanese male doing Zumba? Yes, and I don't know what that is.
Nice.
So I'll just say yes.
Scott had a pretty good idea.
Scott says, I thought of a way to work around poofing items with max floor space. If you got over a certain number, say 15, you can have the room auto aggregate them into 3 piles, and then allow you to unpack them once you pick them up. That's pretty interesting. Definitely one for the discussion. I think that we're pretty close to, I think, probably working something out around that. So I think maybe sometime tonight, once Mike gets plugged in, possibly tomorrow. But yeah, absolutely, I definitely would open up that discussion with Mike and kind of see what his thoughts are, and kind of see, because we really want to make the best kind of system for for you guys, but also just to kind of keep it unforgiving to the point where it still feels like DFC. So we don't want to fix the huge problem 100%. I think that would kind of take away some of it. So I think somewhere along those lines.
Ego, I don't have a problem with that, and I'll tell you why. If you drop a Thunderhammer in front of a porcupine, that porcupine can pick up a Thunderhammer. So I don't have a problem with Wolfhorn being able to pick up coins or objects.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we can test it out, but no promises really. I can't promise anything on class mechanics right now. So, but it is an interesting idea. I think I'm sure Nyx would have a surprisingly detailed list of reasons that